shorty coming out of the suburbs. Don't think it's sweet, boo, you can still get murked. My name all in your mouth, bet it tastes like dessert. Mad I got the juice and you dry like the desert. Why you mad, ayy? Cause I'm in my bag, ayy. Worry about me, worry about your showing price tag. See me glowing up and all these haters wanna be mad. Stuck in the same spot while I'm getting jet lag. Catch me out of state, making a movie coming great. Ain't solid now, but when you eatin', everybody wanna plate. Wanna seat at the table, wanna act like they grateful. Don't mess with outsiders, y'all looking real unstable. If anything, they should ask me how I do it. Start taking notes, recording my every move, and I know that I'm the best and I ain't gotta.
What's good, everyone? Welcome to KB's community. We are Tone didn't turn my my buttons on, so he got me looking a little stupid, right. But it's okay. This is actually the first episode of the year, so I hope you all had a great holiday season. I hope you were able to spend time with your loved ones. Today, I am here with Harvey Scalez Jr. Yes. That's someone I'm extremely excited to have on today.
That's good to hear.
I am, because I know that you're like are you a second generation or are you second generation? Yeah. So like I love to hear about
legacy.
Yes, legacy. So yeah, that's always really exciting for me. So Harvey, do you have a nickname or you just go by?
I go by Scalez, actually,
Scalez?
Which is my last name, but people just call me Scalez. I went to a white high school, so like when I got to Menominee Falls,
that's where I went.
People call you by your, oh wow, you Indian alum. Okay, interesting. I don't meet too many Falls alums like that.
No,
but
sure don't.
A lot of the my white homeboys, I would say, they call you by your last name.
Yes,
Like
they do.
Shashinsky or whatever their last name was. They always, so mine was Scalez. Hey, yo, Scalez. Like that was my first time experiencing that. So then once I got into like hip hop culture, it kind of go with the hand, the scale and drugs and blah, blah, blah. So I just kind of tied it all.
That's actually, your last name works perfectly for that.
Musical scale, you know what I mean? It's many different ways that it can be used.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of.
Okay, so Scalez. We here talking to Scalez today.
Yep.
So you are a podcaster, an artist, a manager, and what else? And an actor. Yeah. So you just love all things creative.
Yeah, I've gotten to a space. I used to teach for about 10 years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But after COVID, I didn't go back to that. And I think one of the positive things I took out of COVID, because I know it messed with a lot of people emotionally. We lost people and all that. But one of the positive things I took out of that is I started the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast during the pandemic. So from there to come full circle to today, Maya P that I manage, Destiny Lynn that I manage, I met both of them through my podcast.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
I'm saying? So that's kind of how that started. Even another artist I work with named Young Swagger out of Racine, I met him through interviewing him on my pod. So the birth of the pod created all these other avenues. Steve-O, who does the movies that I've been in, he's my cousin, but our relationship grew because he sponsored the pod and was coming on the pod. So when he had a role, he like, hey, cuz I got this role, you want to play it? But he was seeing me and frequently seeing me and knowing that I was serious about what I was doing and committed to doing things because he had seen what we were doing with the pod. So
right.
I give all praises to the pod, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have 90% of the things that I got going on right now.
I can say I only started doing this in June, but I can say since then, I've definitely seen my network grow. And I already had a pretty extensive network, but just it's been really good tapping in with people and really making personal connections, because you don't really know people until you sit down and talk with them.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's been great. So hopefully it leads me to somewhere like that as well.
Because my thing is in anything, because I am on episode 208 and I'm on my third year of Slick Talk. So
you're consistent.
Yeah. So the thing about it is just trying to figure out how to grow from it. You know what I mean? I was able to build a network. So now I got another show on there hosted by B Jones, and it's called Pick and Roll. It's a sports podcast hosted by comedian B Jones. So the goal was to build my YouTube channel, get monetized. That happened. So then the next goal was to build the network, add a show to the network. That happened. So Now it's about expounding, just like I was talking to Tone off the air. It's about getting all the Black podcasters in Milwaukee in one building. So that's my next thing. Even with what I'm doing, even what I'm doing with the music with Maya and Destiny, my goal is if I ever get a label imprint or anything like that, is to create a media outlet for it, so I can come back home and help build the Black media.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I aspire to be able to do one day. I still got connections to make. I feel like I've made some really good connections, but I feel like that's really what I want to do. I want to be able to highlight the community to other bigger areas, because I know that we've been slept on for so long.
I literally created the pod because I was an artist and I was like, damn, I can't really get no interviews like that. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking that as I would go around, I talk to my peers and constituents, and they'll be like, yo, bro, niggas don't even get no press around here. We don't get no interviews. If I don't post on Facebook or Instagram, nobody even know what I got going on for real. So I'm like, instead of crying about the shit, I couldn't create a radio station, but podcasting was blowing up at the time. So I'm like, I can create a pod. And then I came down here in the same room. This is where Slick Talk was birthed.
That's so funny.
Room right here. Yeah, how
you inspiring me. This is real full circle.
How everything comes full circle.
Because even what you just said about why you started the podcast, that's really why I did as well. Because I'm like, we need a platform.
Yeah, we need a platform.
And I know, like, even if mine is smaller right now, you got to start somewhere. And the thing is, like, with the right marketing and everything else, you don't know. And still with social media, you don't know who's actually watching.
Attention, for
exactly.
Real. For real. That's what has helped grow the music scene here, is social media and the internet. I don't think Milwaukee is buzzing the way we are without TikTok, without you know what I mean, YouTube, without because I'm an artist, as I was explaining to my artist the other day, Maya P, that she can drop a record and 10 minutes later we can go look at her analytics and look at her comment section, and it's people from Connecticut, people from Singapore, people from Brazil, people from Africa in her comments in 10 minutes. Somebody like me 15 years ago, I had to go to Chicago with CDs in my trunk, get out in front of the mall and be like, hey, you want to buy some, you know what I mean, some unsigned talent? Like, it's totally different. And I think that opened up a place like Milwaukee where labels weren't coming to discover talent. It was able to put us on the stage in front of the world. So I think the internet has played the biggest role. That's made Milwaukee relevant.
I agree.
For real.
And the Bucks didn't hurt.
And the Bucks didn't hurt. That having Damian Lillard and Giannis doesn't hurt at all. At all.
So I feel like we're on the verge of like everybody actually paying attention to
everybody that's watching this show. If you're a creator, you do music, media, whatever it is that you do, every label, listen to me. I got labels in my DM. I'll show KB when we get off the air how labels are in my DM every day, and they want this Milwaukee shit bad.
They want it.
When I say it, it's not just low end. It's not just a certain sound. They want anything that's coming out of here right now. So just get your package together. That's what I tell every artist. Even if I'm not your manager or we're not in business to anybody, the only advice I can give you is that labels are coming and they're paying attention to us. So get your shit together.
That's what I've been focusing on right now as well, because I pay attention. I recently just started doing A&R as well. And so like I definitely for a while, just as an artist, have paid attention to what's going on, because I've been self-managing for a while, and honestly I've been doing a good job, and I don't want to self-manage forever. But the thing is, that relationship is something you really gotta trust.
You gotta trust.
You really gotta have trust.
I think it's
I can't just, and the thing is, I have to know that you can do better for me than I can do for myself. Because to be honest, I've been doing just as much as a lot of these local managers have been doing for myself.
So it's even I tell people all the time when they ask me about managing, it's three things, right? So to me, the number one thing is that you have to be willing to invest time and money. And I say a little bit of time and a lot of money, but your time is money. So you're really, you know what I mean? If you're not willing to spend your last, decide like, am I going to put gas in my car or pay to put my music on DistroKid? If you're not willing to make that decision, then you're not really serious about doing this. That's first of all. Second of all, you have to have something for me to manage. You You know what I mean? Artist development and managing are two totally different things. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So artist development, we're still trying to create your sound, your style, your image, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
By the time you get to me, you should have all those ducks in a row where all I'm helping you do is manage that.
Right.
So like for Maya and Destiny Lynn, for example,
they already have their brand.
They already have their brand, their platform, all that. But once you get to a certain status, to look professional and to be respected by your peers, you have to have representation, a lawyer, a manager, an accountant, all three or one of the three to be taken serious. You get what I'm saying? And once your motion becomes too your movement gets to moving too fast, you got to be kind of like an octopus. So you need to add extra arms to what you're doing, because as an artist, you still got to be creative. You still got to, you know what I mean, do all these things.
It is hard to do everything yourself.
We're in a DIY game now where you need assistance. Like you hear all these people be like, oh, I'm an independent rapper. Like, don't believe that. This nigga got a whole team of people behind what he doing. He just don't got a label doing what they do for artists normally, but he got a team of his peers and friends and people that he know operating like a label. So you get what I'm saying? So it's twofold. Don't get tricked into, hey, everybody do this by themselves. No, I am here to tell you, Beyonce down to your neighborhood artists that got a buzz, all got a team. There's nobody in between that don't got a team helping them doing what they do. Right. Period.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to have some type of representation. And like people always be like, you manage me and blah, 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 blah. You got to have something for me to manage, or else then we're artists developing, and that's something totally different than management. You know what I mean? So
so I saw y'all were at Rock Nation.
Yes.
How in the world did you pull that meeting?
So to make it understood, Maya is signed to Equity. Equity is distributed by Rock Nation. So they're a smaller company that's under Rock Nation. They're in the Rock Nation building, but they're distributed by Rock Nation. So that's how we got there. She had a meeting with the label that signed her. She got signed in the summertime through a DM. Believe it or not,
that's really how the game works these days. Like,
that's how I get most of my label contacts are from DMs. I literally have to go to their page, check their blue check mark, do my background research to make sure it's real. But 90% of the labels, I'm talking about QC, 300, 10K, Republic, name them, Columbia, Signal, all DM me. Hey, Harvey, how you doing? Seeing what you and Maya got going on, would like to rap. You know what I mean? So, or I see what you got going on with Destiny Lynn, would like to talk to you in a couple of days. So it's literally through DM. Maya got signed through a DM. It's a digital distribution deal is what it's called. So she got signed through a DM. Then they flew us to New York 90 days after the deal was done. And that's how we were at the Rock Nation building. But me and Maya had a meeting at Republic Records, who has Coi Leray, Drake, Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj. That's the label that they're all signed to. We had a meeting with Republic in November, I believe that was. So yeah, we've been in New York 3 times for label meetings so far in the last 6 months. So, and we leave for Atlanta next week for her to shoot her off the porch interview and shoot a video down there and go meet with our entertainment lawyer also. So
that's so dope. Did you see yourself being a manager?
No.
Did you know that was something you wanted to do for a long time?
Not at all. So people used to always tell me this. I had a friend of mine named Michael J. Curtis. He was a comedian, and he used to always tell me like, yo, you remind me of managers. Like when I go on the road and do comedy shows, you remind me of the nigga who set up the show, or the nigga who, you know, is the middleman, or the nigga who booked the artist. Like you seem like that guy. Another friend of mine, Trax, Grammy award-winning art writer, told me when he'd go writing camps or go out to LA, work with Eric Bellinger and all these R&B dudes, it would always be a nigga in the room like me who had all the connections to everything, the weed, the girls, the clubs, the other artists you could get on songs, their managers, somebody
to know everybody.
And he like, you remind me of those kind of people, bro. Have you ever thought about managing? So I'm like, nah, blew it off. Maya P is how this happened. She came on my show with the Jam Fest. They do this show every year with a lot of local talent called Jam Fest. An artist named by the name of PBG the Prince puts on this show where he has about 14 or 15 local artists perform. And the last one was at the Miramar, and Maya was on that. So I had them on the podcast. I interviewed her. It was her first interview ever. Like I said, she just started rapping 8 months ago. So for people to get her backstory, Maya got signed in 4 months after she first recorded her first song. She had a record deal already. I know it's strange to hear from Milwaukee because most of us, it's a grind, but For her, it literally happened. A lot of
niggas been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you take somebody like Chicken, it's been an 8-year run for Chicken to get to where he is right now. So Destiny Lynn been grinding for a long time. Even Lakia, it didn't happen right overnight for Lakia either. So Maya literally is an overnight sensation. But anyway, she came on my show. I interviewed her, and then about 3 months later, we were at this event. I used to work, like I said, I used to teach. So I used to work through this program called New Life through the community. And believe it or not, Maya's auntie worked with me. So while Maya and her mom were looking for a manager, the auntie has suggested, hey, Harvey, who we was watching in the Tubi movie the other night, the guy I told you I worked with, his dad wrote the first platinum song in music history. And the nigga, he knows a little bit about music. So I think might want to ask him, do he want to has he ever managed or interested in managing? Long story short, they're doing a 50-year hip hop celebration event at my old job. They asked me to come up there to talk to the kids because I was just in a Tubi movie and I do hip hop. So my boss, Jody Rhodes, called me, hey, Harvey, can you come? Sure, I'll come. Maya's on the bill too. I didn't know Maya was going to be on the bill. Maya's aunt used to work at New Life, like I said, so they had Maya come because the kids love Maya in Milwaukee right now. So,
they sure do.
So we're both there. Long story short, mom grabs me in the hallway. Harvey, my sister, I said, yeah, your sister said something to me about it, but I didn't know. I want you to manage my daughter. She has a record deal, blah, blah, blah. What caught my ear was that she was signed already and she didn't have a manager. And I know that's the golden rule of this industry. You're not even supposed to be in the industry without a lawyer, manager, or an accountant, like I said. So that was the thing that caught my ear. As I went home, so me and Maya took a picture that day. I remembered her from the podcast, but I went home that day and I went to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, looked at the numbers, and she was viral. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is happening right here in my city. You know what I mean? I'm not a low-end dude. I'm not. Maya's in high school. I'm a grown-ass man. So our
world. Is
she
still in high school? I knew she was young, like really young.
In December.
Oh, she is a baby.
Graduated early. Yeah, so she graduated early. You know what I mean? So yeah, like Maya was doing homework from the road. Like we had to email teachers things. Like even her teachers know that she's a rapper. Like it was the coolest thing ever once I got fully involved. But Maya literally made me do what I'm doing. About a week after Maya gave me the job and I made the announcement that I was managing Maya, Destiny Lynn, who's co-managed by a friend of mine named Trey, but he handles more of her internet stuff. So like her posting, you know, her internet interactions. But Destiny needed a manager who could move around with her, who could go places, be a mouthpiece with her. Trey kind of drives trucks on the road. He be gone a lot. So they him and Destiny asked me to come on board and go 50-50 with him, with managing him. So that's how I ended up with Destiny. Okay. And the rest is history. So that's kind of like.
So is this all like extremely recent for you?
Very recent. Yeah, within
like
the last 6
few
months. Yeah,
okay.
Last 6 months. I started in June. On my daddy management started
on my
in June.
daddy.
Yeah, my daddy management.
I'll be randomly saying that throughout the day for some reason. It just be stuck in my head.
Good. I want it to be a household name. Real.
Yeah. Is that why you named it that? Between that and your father's legacy as well?
That's Maya's tagline on my daddy. And Maya's the person who made me a manager. And then because of my dad's history, I just wanted to tie all of that together.
Yeah. So. Can you tell just a little bit of your dad's history for the people who don't know?
My dad's history for people who don't know. His name is Harvey Scalez. My name is Harvey Scalez Jr. His name is Harvey Scalez Sr. And he wrote the first platinum song in music history, right? The song is called Disco Lady for Johnny Taylor. The song went 3 times platinum in 1978. And my dad got the first platinum plaque. So before they gave them anyone a plaque for going platinum, the first record that the recording industry gave it to was Disco Lady. Okay. And that was the song that my dad wrote. You know what I mean? So he's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He grew up in Lapham Park. Had been in the music business since he was 15 years old. He passed away like 3 years ago. But he did phenomenal things. I'm originally from Oakland, California, because he was signed to Casablanca Records in the late 70s, early 80s. So I'm the only one of 13 children that's from Oakland, California. I'm the only one that has his name.
Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm the only one that has his name. The one that's closest to me is 10 years older than me. So I'm like the baby of everybody's baby. So I tell everybody I got like 11 mamas and daddies. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of it. That's the history of that guy. But yeah, for people who don't know, the first platinum song was written by somebody from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A lot of people don't know that, but that's history right there. And that's real. He has his own day in the city. It's February 11th. I was able to get that done. I'm working on a statue for him right now. Also,
do you know where it would be?
It's going to be on 3rd Street in Bronzeville somewhere. That's when I'm working on a location.
Okay,
yeah. Not too far from the Martin Luther King one.
Okay,
that's down there.
Yeah, that would be really great to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what has been the biggest challenge in managing so far, and what has been the greatest reward?
Okay, I'll do the challenge first. I think the biggest challenge is communication.
Okay.
And I guess coming from a past of being an artist myself, and you being an artist, you know what I'm talking about. We'll get in a box where we like fuck everybody and we just gonna do this shit ourselves.
Oh my God, I've been there and I'm kind of there, and then I'm also realizing I can't be there because I do need help.
Communication is key, and I mean that's something as Black people and something that we struggle with anyway. So with me having 2 young ladies, right? I have to be very protective of them. I have to be protective of my artists if it's a male or female, but with them being young ladies, I definitely have to be protective. So I have to make sure I don't, when I'm grinding and going hard for them, I have to make sure I don't get in this space where I'm like, where I used to do as an artist, where I'll be like, man, fuck everybody, and I go in my box and I do it myself. We're a team, so I have to constantly be communicating with them. So I would say that's the hardest part of this, because I got so much music history and experience that nothing else really rattles me. The hardest thing is managing the relationships that I got between them, because as your manager, I'm here to help you with every relationship, whether it's your mother, your father, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, you and your producer, you and your content creator, you and your photographer, you and your engineer, you and your whatever. I'm the middleman in all of those relationships. So that's what I'm here to make sure that both parties are satisfied. You know what I mean? And that your boyfriend or your mama and your daddy aren't getting on you too much and stressing you out too bad that it's affecting our work. And vice versa. You know what I mean? That you're not acting like an asshole to people who really love you and support you. So I kind of fall in the middle with that. So that would be the hard part. The reward is my city is shining right now. And I'm just happy to be one of the flag carrying guys right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be one of the guys when labels hit me up or other artists hit me up and be like, I love what's going on in Milwaukee. I'm happy that they're associating me with that, and I haven't even touched the microphone to be a part of this movement. You know what I mean? So that's the glory that I take away from it, that I'm gonna be able to walk 2 or 3 artists in the labels and get them to accomplish their dream. I know what that means, because I used to sit up and dream about this shit every night myself. So to be able to be a part of that, walking somebody into their dream, taking Maya to New York and being Rock Nation and see Jay-Z's office and all that shit, that's inspiring. You know what I mean? And Maya has to come back home, and I have to come back home and tell my friends and family that, and that's inspiring the people that's around me. And as more and more we have that going on, you'll start seeing a culture shift around here, for real, for real.
Right, definitely. Yeah, you are one of the pioneers of the, well, honestly, I can't even say of like the new wave, because honestly, it's not like we got any attention ever. So seriously, a pioneer, honestly.
Facts. You know what I mean? We had a couple people break through the cracks just like my dad did, but it hasn't been a influx. I want to say since Lakia got signed, it's been a rolling, you know what I mean? Like a rolling, you know what I mean? A revolving door of artists going into the industry or getting industry opportunities or even industry looks, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is, like, they will give the individuals the recognition, but the city itself, nobody knows anything. And now we're starting.
Well, now it's starting
to get the city recognition. So, that's something me and you talked about off air. One of the things I want to encourage people, like I know, you know, even Maya, she's growing as an artist, or her sound is starting to change a little bit. But what got her signed was the low end sound. But even like with Destiny doesn't do low end music at all. Destiny's respected as one of the best female rappers in the game. Like I get inboxes from Complex Magazine, all kind of big write-ups, and that's how they view Destiny. Like she's a spitter for the females, you know what I mean? So it's a lane for everybody. The whole thing that you want is the Kia Boy low-end shit brought attention to our market. But once labels start looking at the market, now they're really looking for the talent. Now they've gotten past the fascination of, oh, this is where they steal cars and they make this low-end heavy bass sound music that you can dance and do the point and dance to. Now they're looking at who's been selling out the Cactus Club, or who's been packing out these venues, or who's been killing blog sites from here, and who's been doing this, who's been doing Summerfest every year, and who's been doing, those are the people. So just have your portfolio and your shit together when these labels start coming and looking, because they're in my inbox and they're not just asking me for Destiny and Maya, because both of them already kind of got situations going on. So labels can't even do nothing for them. They're asking me, what else do you guys got?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So just have your ducks in a row right now. That's the only advice I could give to any artist. It's not about your talent. I'm here to tell everybody, it's not about the talent. Hustle beats talent 100% of the times. You know what I'm saying? So it's about your hustle and having your business portfolio and acumen together. And that's as simple as having a manager. If you don't want a manager, get an entertainment lawyer. They operate the same, or get you both. But what made the label start taking Maya serious, even as a 17-year-old artist, was that she had representation. And then the representation she went and got. Dad was in the music business for 80 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's been in the music business for 30 years of his life. So his own life. So when you go get you somebody like that, so many labels have told Maya, like, you're lucky to have somebody like Harvey. Because you don't know how many managers we talk to who don't know what the hell they talking about.
So many managers that do not
don't know what they doing. You know what I mean? So,
and that's also another reason why I'm not looking for any local managers right now. Because like I said, I know what I'm doing just as much as they do.
So hopefully what I can do is fix that for people like yourself. I plan on doing, seminars and shit like that, speaking engagements where I educate other people to get into this lane, because I feel like a lot of older rappers like myself, like shout out my brother Ray Rizzy, hit me the other day and he said some artists from the city was asking him to come on board to kind of like A&R, get into management with him. And I said, why wouldn't you, bro? You a legend in the town, and we know the music business. We just never got an opportunity to get to the other side. But if you're working with an artist to be the vessel to get you in those rooms, you know how to talk once you get in them rooms. The artist necessarily doesn't. So they need that. The city needs that. Like, okay, I don't get to be the Kanye West of Milwaukee, but I get to do it behind closed doors though. So that's the cooler part to me. Like, I don't have to go out there and sweat on stage. I'm the person that gets to be able to put the connections behind closed doors, and for it to be a ripple effect where it affects this move that I made affects other artists. Like, for instance, On the Radar came here and did those freestyles. And we were in New York for that picture that you're talking about at Rock Nation. Now, Rock Nation has a Rock Nation Sports where they represent Kevin Durant.
I did not know that.
Flaugier that played for LSU. She's represented by them. So they were telling me that they had spoke to Damian Lillard's people and they wanted to do a rap On the Radar freestyles from the Bucks locker room. Right? So I told them, I said, if you come do it, now I'm not just talking about Maya, but if you come do it, Dame can't be the only person on there. We have a burgeoning music scene in Milwaukee that if they come there and only shoot him, it's gonna look fucked up. That would be
messed up.
So me, simple as me saying that. Gabe from On the Radar came here. He shot 6 of us with Damian Lillard in the Bucks arena, and then he went to Timeless Studios and shot about 16 other local artists.
That's the one that I saw. I didn't even know about the one that.
Yeah, because they haven't been able to leak that one yet. That's me. I just gave you an exclusive right here on the community podcast.
KB getting exclusive.
Exclusive air horn. If you fix if Tone had, Tone wearing many hats around here, man. When you like that, when you like me, Tone like me, man. When you're wearing a lot of hats, sometimes certain shit just slips your mind.
It'd be like that for real. But. Okay, so I have a question for you though. So I need to. Okay, so have you heard of MKE Expanded?
Yeah.
Okay, so I started working with. I don't know if you've heard of Mocha.
Yeah, Mocha. She hit me up the other day. Mocha Mocha Music or something. Yeah, she hit me up not too long ago.
I'm the event director now. Oh. We got some big stuff planned. We got some big 4-on-4 day stuff planned. I'm not gonna leak it to everybody right now, but before that, I wanted to host an event that would be like an artist panel and like not really an artist panel, but just people, a music panel and a marketing panel. So you just said that you want to speak. So with you saying that, it would be dope to have you. I feel like you would like be a very great. Hit me up,
I would be honored.
Okay, I didn't even know she hit you up.
Yeah, she hit me up for me and her to meet, and I apologize because my schedule got crossed.
He gonna get to it,
but this probably is how we're gonna meet now because I'm definitely gonna do that panel.
That'd be so dope.
Yeah, I actually should. Thanks. We'll talk off the air where we can collab, and I'll come on and we can do that shit like every 90 days or something.
That would be amazing. You know what I mean? So, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna talk then later. Yep. Okay, let's see. I was going to say, what other advice do you have for the local artists who are trying to gain recognition?
I mean, like
now?
I said, I would just keep my nose to the grind. You know what I mean? And like, it's about, so really another tidbit I'll give y'all. It's numbers, ladies and gentlemen.
It is.
I don't know what platform you can get on and create your motion, whether it be TikTok, SoundCloud even works still. Believe it or not, SoundCloud still works because it's all about numbers. If you can garnish an audience on any of those platforms, is what makes media companies and record labels get interested in what you got going on. You know what I mean? So that's what's working, for instance, for B. Jones and Myron with the internet comedian thing. If they can, even Kelly Kills, if you can garnish an audience of people, thousands of likes and streams and likes and reposts, that will make companies want to invest in what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a record company, media company, film company, whatever, because today that's where product placement is at number one. We're not reading newspapers or picking up magazines anymore. It's all right here. Exactly. You know what I mean? So so they have to attach themselves to people like us, social influencers who run this. Right. So that's where your value is. It's in your numbers. It doesn't matter if it's Facebook, Twitter, whatever platform you can get it popping and get popular at. That's your goal mine.
How do you think people can get their numbers up? I know it's consistently posting every day.
Being annoying.
But a lot of people are not like.
I think a lot of us are too cool for school. Post that shit. You're your best promoter. Post it to the point that people like me want to repost it for you. And then that's when the traction comes. I seen it happen with an artist from here, Certified Trapper. People were laughing at him. They thought his music was funny, corny. Now Lil Tyler just bought a beat from him and did a feature with him recently. Industry people are buying beats from him. Maya got 3-4 beats from him on her next project. That
I didn't even know he produced.
He does his own beats. That sound, that Milwaukee clap.
Shimone.
Yeah. Shimone, exactly. And funny about Shimone, the label didn't want him to put it out. He put it out anyway. So that's what I'm telling you, where we're at in the game is that the label is just kind of here to help you today because we're making our own stars.
I love that for us, because too many people in the past have had their lives completely controlled by labels. And that is no way to live. It's like, is it even worth it at that point?
Now, what they're doing is, and I want to educate people on this, what they're doing is licensing deals, right? So when you hear somebody say, oh, I own my content. Okay, that's fine. But the platform that you're uploading your content to is owned by somebody. Right. And you have to go into a licensing agreement with them in order to do that. So what record companies are doing now, this is the trick, because you want to look independent. That's the look. Everybody want to look like they self-made. That's the DIY world that we live in, right? But behind closed doors, that's not necessarily the case at all. Like literally at all. So it is dope to me that I've been able to pull the curtain back from that to realize that. That's why I keep saying, don't believe the hype that people are doing this shit by themselves. They're not. So many of us get wrapped up in, oh, I seen such and such and they self-made. No, it's a whole team of people behind them, helping them. And then another advice I'm gonna give people, stop expecting your family members and shit to support you. Because this is the thing. You're from Milwaukee, right? Maybe if you was from LA, New York, even Atlanta, your mom and dad, auntie, uncle, cousin could understand what you're doing, because it's multimillionaires right down the street off of movies, film, and music. But in Milwaukee, ain't no multimillionaires here off of that. So they're gonna tell you, go get a job, go to school. No, we're not coming to your show because we don't even really understand what you got going on for real. So that's something else that we have to do here, is that you can't get discouraged by that. You got to understand where you're at. And you also may need to go to places where people respect that. You understand what I'm saying? But you can't get mad at your family members because they don't really understand the business. You know what I mean? So.
Especially, and I can tell you, when I first started, I definitely felt that. Like, I was angry at everybody who was not supporting. I was angry at people who was unfollowing me. Like, and then you, like, honestly, the more you network, you realize it's personal, but it's not personal.
And you gotta love the people that love you.
It feels personal, but it's not personal.
We'll get 100 comments in our comment section and concentrate on that one person that said this shit was trash. Why? What about the 99 people that just showed you love? Like, we ignore the people who love us and give so much energy to people who hate on us, and that's crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, why do we feed into the
feed into that? Fuck them. Who cares if they don't like you? Okay, they don't like you. Move on from that. But show love to the people, because to me it's kind of discouraging or you blowing off the people that show you love if you give all the energy to negative shit.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean? So.
And I noticed that I feel like I started doing that as well. Because I'm like, there actually were so many people saying, oh, wow, this is really great that you're doing this. This is inspiring. Oh, you're so good, blah, blah, blah. But what I was concentrating on was everybody that was rejecting it versus everybody that was like, wow, it's great watching you come into
Somebody
your
said,
own.
"Is that
You
Harvey?"
know?
Yeah, that's Harvey. Somebody
That
said
Harvey.
yes.
That's him.
Yeah.
So, but you were right about that.
Yeah. So I try to tell people about that all the time. Just be looking at the game, like comparing yourself to your peers, and just watching the numbers and try to bring something new. You know what I mean? I know it's a lot of fodder. It's a lot of shit out here. So it's kind of hard to cipher through it. But you even take a guy like Steve the Stoner. He's found his niche, and that's dancing. People are laughing at him or whatever, but
he gets here and did his little dance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He gets his impressions, he gets his views, he gets his insights. And when I talk to labels, he's one of the names that they're bringing up when I talk to labels from Milwaukee. Exactly. So, I mean, when I talk to labels about Milwaukee. So that's what I'm saying. Find your niche, whatever it is. If people are laughing at you, that's a good thing, because that means they watching. Exactly. You know what I mean? Even if they hating, they gave you a view. That view counts towards your view count. So
Suki Hana or whoever her name was just proposed to him.
Yeah, exactly.
The comments were full of haters. They did not pass the vibe.
He got on somebody's platform that has 1 million followers. You know what I mean? So that's what the whole goal in this shit is.
Won anyway.
He won.
Right.
He's winning at the end of the day. It's costing him nothing to produce and upload those videos. He's doing it for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pay a cell phone bill every month, and he can post that shit anytime he feel like it. It's that simple. Right. And I come from an era where you used to have to pay thousands of dollars to even get attention of somebody famous. You know what I mean? So that's where the game changed. And I think that's what opened it up for a market like Milwaukee, where we don't have famous people just walking down the street, or Tyler Perry building studios around the corner from our house. Yeah. But we got people like Steve-O and Swift shooting movies and casting people right here in Milwaukee to be in the movies, and they're going to Tubi and Amazon. So it's happening. It's just happened, small baby steps for us to get to, you know, where the final goal is. But
okay. What was the movie that you were in?
I was in Trust Nobody 2, available right now on Tubi and Amazon Prime. Trust Nobody 2.
Trust Nobody 2.
So yeah.
Who else is in it locally? Or who's from?
Who else is in it locally? Damn, there's a few people in it.
They shot it here.
They shot it here. Okay. Swift is in it, but Fatboy SSE. So actually, Trust Nobody 2 got a lot of national people in it. It was just filmed in Milwaukee. So Jamal Woodard, from the Notorious movie, he played Biggie. He'll be in all the Tubi movies. He's in it. Fatboy SSE.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm gonna have to go home and watch.
He's in it. Fatboy SSE, who's popular, like I was saying, from Instagram. He's in it. Locally, I'm trying to think of who else is in it. Chicken Will, a comedian from here, he's in it. Ken Black, a comedian from here, he's also in it. Swift is in it, even though it's a Steve film. Swift, who does his own movies too, he's acting in it because he's my boss in the movie. Another comedian named Chris Kennedy from Philadelphia is in it. So mine got a lot of, you know, it wasn't that many local people in mind. Now that you got me thinking about the cast,
that actually makes me, I don't want to say that it makes me feel good about that,
but does, though,
it does, because I had a conversation on this show recently about how once the city actually becomes an industry hub and people see that we have actors and people who shoot movies, we have podcasters, we have recording artists, we have everything. Then when it becomes an industry hub, people will start flying here.
Well, you got to look at it.
They bring the money
here. We're right around the corner from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at it, New York became a hub, and then New Jersey was able to blow, grow off of New York because they're right there. Like, oh, if it's too overcrowded in New York, well, we're right here 30 minutes away.
Exactly.
And we provide the same amenities.
Yeah, we like Chicago little cousins.
That's all we got to start doing. Once we build our industry here, they coming, because a lot of people don't know Lake Geneva used to have one of the state-of-the-art studios in the music business. So like Leonard Skinner, Led Zeppelin, a lot of white rock groups, even Nirvana did their album in Madison, Wisconsin. So a lot of people don't know artists would come here and record their albums, because it's almost like Kanye going to Wyoming and doing that album a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It takes you completely off the grid if you come to Wisconsin.
That's
like
true.
I said, there's no media, there's no paparazzi here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When Halle Berry was dating Eric Benet, she could walk around Brookfield Mall freely because there was no paparazzi here chasing her around the mall. So that's one of the glorifications that people find about this little gym that we got sitting here, is that, oh, it's lit, it's popping, but it ain't no paparazzi and hassle here for me.
It is a little gem.
I can just be myself here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it's nice to hear your views on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you say you've been in the music industry
my
for
entire
30
life.
years?
Yeah, my entire life. When I got out of high school, I started rapping. So I went to Morris Brown in Atlanta for school, and I stayed down there even after I got out of school for about 8 years, and then I came back up here. But during that whole process, I was working on music. I was with Rico Love during his process, his early stages before he got signed to Usher, and while he was with Usher. My homeboy Sounds did a lot of stuff for Rihanna during that run. I was around BMF in the early 2000s in Atlanta. So that's how I kind of got my own roots into music, separate from my dad. You know what I mean? Now, my dad, I've met everybody from MC Hammer to Ronald Isley to you name them. I mean, the list goes on with my dad. Like, it's amazing with him. But just on my own, I've been able to make my own connections and do my own thing. I do R&B live here every 2 months. And that's with Cigarette Break and Sean Hinton. We perform at the Warehouse every 2 months. Shout out to Lena Cole for that. It's been going on 13 years in the city, and I perform with a live band. I'm the only rapper that's a part of the set. Everybody else is R&B singers. I've done Summerfest, the Rave, you name it. Like I said, I've been, one of the faces and names. I was recently working at Mr. B's, but I've been a promoter in the nightclubs here in the city for at least 10, 12 years. So all of that experience, I take it and it makes me on my daddy management. You take all of that shit and you put it in a pot and you mix it up, you pour it in a bowl, and you get OMD management. All those experiences. Without all those experiences, I wouldn't be as vest as I am in what I'm doing right now.
Exactly. You wouldn't have the knowledge and the thing is, you have generational knowledge in the music industry as well, and then you've grown through the entire three changes
I got to see
had.
Milwaukee go from being ignored to getting a little attention to being the pretty girl at prom. You know what I mean? The pretty girl that everybody wants to take to prom. And that's who we are right now at this very moment. We're the pretty girl that everybody wants to take to prom.
Yeah, it feels good to hear that from somebody who has been in touch with the bigger labels, because I know I've been saying that for at least a year. I know some other people around me. I don't know if you know DJ Payday is.
Yeah, Payday. That's my boy.
That's
Shout out Payday.
Homie.
Payday's done beats for me.
Oh, okay, me too. We work together.
Payday and 40 Mil.
Yeah, that's one of my really good friends. But yeah, just hearing, because he's third generation too. So I don't know if your fathers ever knew each other and worked together. That'd be kind of cool too.
They did work together.
Yeah.
I think they did.
Yeah, but he told me that labels are coming and looking. A bunch of people have told me that they have their eyes on us. So right now is the time to really get yourself together and put in that work.
Facts. And I mean, right now, to be honest with you, you're not really looking for a record deal.
No,
in 2024, you want distro.
Exactly.
You really want distro. And then with the distro, you just got to figure out how long the terms of the licensing deal is. So it's 10, they usually go 5, 10, 15 years. You know what I mean? To me, 15 years is too long.
Yeah.
5 is what you would want, but they usually settle in the middle on 10. You know what I mean? So, and it makes sense.
You can grow and change.
You can grow
in
and change
5, 10 years.
A lot. Like if you get leverage and you make you some money, you can always buy yourself out those situations and move on and find a better situation. But a record deal, they control literally everything that you do. A distro deal, they're just supporting you and helping you and what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
That really should be the goal these days.
That's the goal, especially for a market like Milwaukee where nobody
has tapped into
nobody created this. We created this. No industry producer came here and discovered us, Dr. Dre or Jermaine Dupri or Puff Daddy or nobody. No, this shit literally got blew up off of badass little kids from the east side of Milwaukee. You know what I mean? Stealing cars and shit, and going and making this music that matches the streets at that time, and it getting national coverage. So that's what led us to this. So when I talk to these labels, I do not let them take credit for what Maya's doing,
Thank
for what
you.
Destiny's
And
doing,
don't.
for what Lil Chicken's doing, for Lakia is doing. You had nothing to do with
They
that
didn't
shit.
add nothing.
You just bought into something that was already hot.
Exactly.
We appreciate it, but
right. Thank you.
This is our shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? This is ours.
And I hope everybody keeps that same mindset, because strength in numbers. And if we all think that way and continue to build for ourselves, we're going to be like a popping city, and we're all gonna get some money.
One thing people don't know, is that once these artists get signed, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, surrounding areas, is when they need our help. Everybody think you need it on the way up. No, hell no. I need your help once I get signed, because once I get signed, now this is a loan. Any money that they giving me or any services that they provided to me is a loan, and I got to pay it back. So I need your support now that I'm on, because if I'm on and I don't have support from my hometown, they'll shelf me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Now that I'm on, I don't need you to fall back now that you think that I made it. Now you like, you don't need my support. He got fans in California. No, I still need
very much so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fans in California might be fair weather motherfuckers. I need the people back home to really hold me down. You know what I mean? So when we look at a Lakia that's signed to QC, it's not to back off of her now that you think she's made it. No, this is when she needs the most support possible. When even Maya or Chicken or Certified Trapper, when you see these cats getting this national exposure or these national looks, now is the time to support them for real. You know what I mean? So that's another thing I wanted to add.
Oh, and you know what then? That should also be a good lesson for the people that say, if you don't support me now, don't support me in the future. Now you need them in the future, or else you're going to be broke.
Like I said, I'm in the middle. So on the other side, on the artist side, what she said is correct.
Yeah.
That's a dumb mindset to have. You know what I mean? You need people to support you always, but you really need it once you get that loan from the record company, because it's worse than a loan from a bank. It's worse than a loan from a car dealership.
They take everything.
Yeah, they take everything.
You be homeless.
Yeah, you be homeless. Exactly. And you'll be owing them for the rest of your life. So you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the shit, is that once you made it is when the support really needs to kick in. You know what I mean? On both sides.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I went and I looked you up. I listened to your song Black Excellence.
Wow.
Because you were on Radio Milwaukee performing it. Tell me about that song.
So that song comes about because I was doing a project called Mansa Musa. And I didn't know that was going to be my last solo project. It was giving me them kind of vibes when I went into the process of doing it, but it did end up being my last solo. Now, I put out some collab projects with Mecca Mala and Elisa Nicole since that project, but Black Excellence was the song that started me out on that project, because one of my nicknames is Mansa Musa. And for people who don't know who Mansa Musa is, he's the richest man that ever lived. And he was an African king during the Kemet times, I believe, right before Christ was born. So he's the richest man still to this day to ever live. You know what I mean? So rappers called themselves John Gotti, Scarface, all these white men that we market ourselves or idolize. So I decided that if I was going to have an AKA, Scalez, AKA, my AKA was going to be after an African king who was also the richest man that ever lived, which brought about Black Excellence, that has a sample where I got my dad talking on the record explaining how Disco Lady went platinum. So that's the voice that you hear talking on the record. And that's how it kind of came about. So I shot a video for it. Shout out to Crown. Shot a dope video for it with a lot of landmarks of Milwaukee in the video. I got to perform at 88.9. That was the same day that I was able to get my dad his own day in the city. So I performed on February 11th at the radio station and was able to get my dad his own plaque from the state of Wisconsin for having his own day in the city of Milwaukee or whatever. So yeah, that's the story behind Black Excellence. That's how that happened.
Yeah. Well, you are definitely following the legacy and pursuing Black Excellence.
Trying to.
Nah, we get in there. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So just thanks again for being here. Do you have any closing thoughts you just want to share with the city, share with artists, share with anybody who would watch?
Like I said, I think I kind of said it, and I'll just double down on it again. I think, like I was telling artists, don't be discouraged and think, because I've had a couple of artists that I talked to locally who've been like, oh, well, Maya do low end or Chicken do, they just looking for low end. No, they're not. So stop saying that. First of all, you're separating yourself. That's the problem with Milwaukee. It has to be a music community. I came from Atlanta during the era when BMF, Outkast, T.I., and all that shit blew up at the same time. And if anybody knows Outkast, it's totally different from what BMF was doing with Jeezy. But when they would come to music conferences, conventions, shows, all those people would be together. There was no separation between they do drug dealer rap and they do conscious rap. There was no separation. It was Atlanta hip hop. Exactly. And that's the same way it has to go here. And if all I'm gonna tell the artist, any advice I could give you, have your shit together, your ASCAP, BMI. If you can't afford an entertainment lawyer or an accountant, get you a manager. You know what I mean? Preferably somebody you don't know like that. Someone that you know of, but you don't know like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Try to get them invested in what you're doing and then have something for them to manage also. You know what I'm saying? Get your own motion and something going on. Have something for them to manage. And it's strength in numbers. That's the last thing I'm going to leave with. It's strength in numbers because the label is looking at numbers. It's not about talent anymore. It's about numbers.
Yeah.
So, and that'll take the entire city for you to have numbers. So that means the entire market gets on because of your numbers, correct? Yeah. Oh, that's my last thing. For the local support that we don't get here. Yeah. Okay. Even if you don't know nothing about music, a building like the Sherman Phoenix, it grows and it blows up if the music scene blows up.
Exactly. The whole market.
We got hairdressers in here. We got girls who do nails in here. We got a classic upstairs with our clothes. We got a studio down here. We got restaurants. You don't think if rappers become millionaires in your city, those resources won't be needed more? Look at the Pfizer form. They put money into the Bucks. 100 businesses came behind that because they put money into the Bucks. If you put money into your local talent who's got $1 million labels interested in investing in them,
you're putting money into your city. You're investing in.
But you too invested in. I don't want Harvey to be rich.
Exactly.
It's not about Harvey being rich.
So invested in being a hater.
Yeah, exactly. It's about your city.
It's a lot being of that.
Rich. I watched it happen in Atlanta. That's why there's so many businesses, Black-owned businesses in Atlanta, because hip hop, even though it might be financed by white companies, it's owned by Black people. Right. So at the end of the day, it can't do anything but help a city that's under the poverty line like ours. If you have 5 or 6 millionaires come from the ghetto from here, that can only help.
Yep.
It's gonna make artists that we're doing business with have to come to Milwaukee, and you're gonna have those amenities for them to be here.
Right.
Only makes sense.
It does.
So,
but like I said, they need to stop hating.
Stop hating.
Stop hating.
You hating on yourself.
So we can come together.
You hating on yourself.
Do it the right way. Make some money and I'll eat. It's that simple.
Facts.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being here. Harvey Scalez Jr. Make sure you check him out.
Slick Talk with Scalez podcast every Wednesday, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. The Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. Please go to YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, notification button. Keep up with everything that we got going on over there. That's about all I got going on. Also tap in with Maya P and Destiny Lynn. Go stream that and follow them on TikTok and Instagram.
Tap
all that good shit. Please.
All right. Thanks for watching. It worked.